Hello, in 2024 we are celebrating the 200th anniversary of the premiere of one of the truly great works of Western art, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which took place in Vienna's Theater on May the 7th, 1824. A masterpiece of music history, Beethoven's Symphony No.9, also known as the Choral Symphony, never fails to resonate with audiences around the world today. This symphony wasn't just another musical work, it was a groundbreaking composition that shattered conventions and expanded the possibilities of what music could express. It's the first symphony in the history of Western classical music to incorporate vocal soloists and a chorus into the texture. This innovation was unprecedented and signaled a bold departure from traditional symphonic form. But what makes Beethoven's Symphony No.9 so enduringly captivating is its universal message of hope and optimism. In a world torn apart by conflict and division, Beethoven's music reminds us of our shared humanity and the power of art to transcend barriers and bring people together. The Hungarian conductor Ivan Fischer explains what makes Beethoven's Ninth so extraordinary.
Beethoven, with his composition, with the Ninth Symphony, wanted to change the world, and I think he managed to change the world. Even if there are wars, there are conflicts, there is hatred, there is all kinds of terrible things happening in the world because people have different interests and conflicts with each other. What Beethoven did is showing us the solution, how the world should exist, how we should live. And even if we go through difficult times in these years, Beethoven will win, sure.
Beethoven's revolutionary fervour had been stirred up in the first decade and a half of the 19th century by Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon's military campaigns had redrawn borders, toppled monarchies, and spread revolutionary ideals across the continent. But by 1814, Napoleon's power had waned, and the European powers sought to restore stability and order to the continent, convening the Congress of Vienna. It brought together representatives from the major European powers, including Austria, Prussia, Russia, and Great Britain. The primary goal of the Congress of Vienna was to establish a new political order in Europe that would prevent the resurgence of revolutionary and imperial ambitions like those of Napoleon. The Congress aimed to achieve this through a system of balance of power, where no single state would be allowed to dominate the continent. It was a significant turning point in European history, marking the end of an era of revolution and warfare and the beginning of a period of relative stability and conservatism known as the Concert of Europe. But early 19th century Vienna was also a city buzzing with artistic fervour and intellectual ferment. Ludwig van Beethoven, now completely deaf but at the height of his creative powers when he composed his Symphony No.9, remained throughout his life a staunch advocate for freedom and justice, often expressing his beliefs through his compositions. His sole opera, Fidelio, celebrates the courage of a young woman determined to secure the release of her husband from prison, where he's been unjustly held. His monumental Third Symphony, Eroica, of 1804, is again about the individual's triumph over adversity thanks to the power of humanity. There are numerous other works that explore the theme of mankind's triumph over dire odds. But perhaps the most pertinent to the Ninth Symphony is a strange work that Beethoven had written 12 years earlier, and in some ways as a kind of precursor to this great symphony. It's the choral fantasy, Opus 80, scored for solo pianist, soloists, chorus and orchestra.
Doch der Künstler fröhlich Sonnen lässt aus beiden nicht entstehen. Das ist das
Beethoven wrote the text for the choral fantasy himself, and it celebrates the power of music to uplift the human spirit and unite people in joy and harmony. One line states that friendship and joy proceed gently like the play of waves. What had been rough and hostile becomes infused with lofty feeling. When you listen to it, it's hard not to notice pre-echoes of the Ninth Symphony. And another work, his Transcendent Missa Solemnis, which aspires towards the sublime, was written around the same time as the Ninth Symphony and shows Beethoven's mastery of choral writing in music that tests even the nerves of the most accomplished vocalist. So what are the words that inspired the symphony's choral finale? They are the Ode to Joy and Die Freude in German by Friedrich Schiller. Beethoven first encountered the poem in the late 1790s. Schiller's poetry was widely celebrated in literary circles at the time, and Beethoven, who was known for his voracious appetite for literature and philosophy, was likely introduced to the poem through his interactions with fellow artists and intellectuals while still a young composer in his native Bonn. Schiller's Ode to Joy struck a chord with Beethoven, resonating deeply with his own ideals of freedom, brotherhood, and the triumph of the human spirit. The poem's themes of universal love and unity, all men shall be brothers in Schiller's words, appeal to Beethoven's belief in the power of music to transcend barriers and unite people across boundaries of nationality, religion, and social status. So as you listen to Beethoven's Symphony No. 9, let yourself be swept away by its timeless beauty and profound emotional depth. It's a testament to the enduring power of music to inspire, uplift, and unite us all.